Welcome to the Happy Humanoid's Perspective, where your beliefs are challenged, thoughts provoked, and where you may find your happy place whether you like it or not.
And here are your hosts, Edith and Miles. Woohoo!
Welcome everyone to our show. My name is Miles, and I am an Access Consciousness Certified Facilitator. And I'm joined here by
Edith Paul. I am also an Access Consciousness Facilitator. Hello everyone, and welcome to our show. I'm going to talk like people at the beginning of the show. The guy who introduced us, hello, and welcome to this happy humanoid perspective. Yeah, the subject for tonight, choosing for you in the midst of chaos.
Mm-hmm. Chaos.
What brings us to choose this subject?
Yeah, do you have something or?
No, go.
Yeah, it's interesting that there's so much, there seems to be in any given time a lot of things going on in our world, and in the Florida area there's just a lot of created chaos through different scenarios, and I thought it would be we thought it would be an interesting topic to approach because there is this kind of ongoing chaos in our world and in our personal life as well. And one thing I was thinking about was we create this chaos. It's not something that happens to us. And as far as a society, what's the reason for creating so much trauma and drama and chaos in our world? And it's, Gary talks about it as a distraction to creating or having awareness. So it's like all of the chaos and all of a lot of trauma and drama going on right now in the world. It just seems, it's almost like that for me, the energy is just palpable. It's almost like some tangible, solid energy that is just permeable through the world. And so I thought it would be nice to do some clearings on the chaos, and also approaching chaos from a space of using it to our advantage, and how to use that, how to create for you, choose for you in the chaos. Yeah, so welcome.
Yeah. And when I think about this, in this reality, we either align and agree, or we resist and react to whatever is created on this planet. Mm-hmm. And what we have to get here is about the more we either align and agree or react or resist, the more we create trauma and drama in our life. Mm-hmm. So it's about here becoming aware that, hey, what if there's another choice here? What if there's another possibility instead of being under the effect of things? Because, we can be affected by all that. And the thing is, one of the things that we have to become aware is that we are so aware. We are so, what is the word? We are so, we are so aware, telepath. Mm-hmm. Psychic. It's about that. We are, because when we have this capacity to perceive the energy, our first language is energy, and when something is created on this planet, either we see it on TV or we hear people talk about it. I met one of our neighbor who talked about that 2 days ago, about the shooting in the nightclub. And I could see everything. She was talking, she was telling me, describing some of the scene. And I could perceive everything that was there. So I had a choice with that. First, it is about, what am I doing with this? Am I feeding this by feeding this with emotion, or do I just allow this to be? And this is how I believe that choosing for us is about this. What do I choose for me in regards to this? And it's not about being indifferent.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about not being touched by that, because we are touched. Okay, we are touched, and it's about allowing this to be created.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no point of view. It's about this. It's about, yeah, I begin by saying we are so aware that when we become aware of all that, there's no separation in the energy. There's no separation in the unity. And when we are aware of all that, it seems like it's a part of our universe.
Mm-hmm.
It's a part of us. And this is where the question is so important. Who does it belong to? Because if we don't ask this question, we can be under the effect of something that is created in the world, in the chaos, or usually it's chaos. So it's about asking question here when we are in, like, as you said at the beginning, in Florida, there is this chaos, a few events that have been created lately. And it's about, hey, what do I choose here for me?
Mm-hmm.
And it's about, acknowledge the fact that we care for people. And in this caring, do we trick ourselves? Because a lot of people, because they care for people, will feel sorry for them if they know them or not. And by doing this, people keep themselves in that kind of cycle of emotion, that kind of trauma and drama.
Mm-hmm.
So what if it's about choosing here to have no point of view about it, and having being in allowance of this is the first thing, and then having no point of view about it. Having no point of view about it. So it requires, I realize it requires for me a lot of clearing. I still have a few of these, a lot of points of view about what is it to care about people. What is it to care about a situation? What is it about being in relationship with an event, being in relationship with someone? Because that's the thing here. This little boy of 2 years old and the gator, the first thing that came up for me was like, oh my God. Mm-hmm. And then it was like, I could perceive the dad, everything he felt and all that. And it was like, okay, I'm aware of that. Now, can I allow this to be? Mm-hmm. Can I allow this? This is something that has been created. Everyone create their own life. And can I be in a space with no point of view? So what would it take for me to be in a space with no point of view? And this is so freeing when we allow ourselves to be in that space. It doesn't mean that I don't care. It doesn't mean that I don't, I'm like, whatever. It's not about that. It's about allowing this to be, I'm repeating myself. So what would it take for you to allow yourself to choose a space of ease for you in this? When you're in the chaos, in the midst of the chaos and everything that doesn't allow that, will create and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, on ice, shorts, boys and beyonds. Yeah, it's really interesting what you said about acknowledging what's happening. And I think there's two parts to acknowledgement. There's like the acknowledging that we have the awareness of the energy of what's going on, whether it's 2 miles away from us or 2 minutes or whatever it is, or 1,000 miles, having that awareness and not taking it on as our awareness or our energy, not our awareness, but our energy, and not believing that it's ours, just having that awareness, acknowledging that we have that capacity, and also just acknowledging for what is, what's current, what's going on right now, as in this reality, this event happened, acknowledging that. And it seems to free up for me, like once I can acknowledge something, then I can more easily clear it and move on. And sometimes that's the tricky part, because in this reality, it's so much of a support system to get together and have a support group of keeping that alive, keeping this support system of the trauma and drama of this world alive. And again, not to say that it's a bad thing, not to say that it shouldn't be done or any of that. It's just, it's about being present and about being aware. And how could you better be in the world from a space of reaction, or a space of, like in this space of caught up in the emotion of it, or having the capacity to have that allowance and step back and make choices that will create a difference in your life. And maybe that would be enough to shift the energy of the heaviness that you may sense, or that I may sense. This past weekend, we got a firsthand look at someone who was not in their body and not aware, and they were not present, and they reacted very radically and created a whole scenario and a whole nother thing that we were involved in. So someone who panicked in a situation created a lot of activity for us that we had to, like, all this activity is now created because of someone wasn't present. Actually, two people weren't present, and created this whole, well, we created that as well because we were part of that. So it's just interesting for me to become aware of the places that I choose to be in chaos and not create from chaos. Like when I'm being in chaos, I'm sort of caught up in this activity, or this this cycle, or this spiral, whether it's a downward spiral or whatever, about thinking that it's something that I am caught up in, as opposed to me creating that myself, having the awareness that I create my own chaos. And we as a society create a certain amount of chaos, whether it's a shooting or whether it's whatever it is. It's like there's some energy that supports that and creates that. So yeah, I want to say that the chaos is really something that we want to create from, so it's not a fixed point of view. The chaos is more a possibility, the possibilities to create something beyond what we thought was possible. So we're talking about the chaos of, like, the trauma and drama, and there's also the sort of the chaos or the unrelated activity or energy of things or possibilities happening or being created. So everywhere that we are using chaos as a way to distract ourselves from having the awareness of the possibilities that we could truly be choosing, we destroy and uncreate all those times a gazillion.
Right and wrong, getting that fucking put online shorts, pause and beyond. Yeah, and there is this thing about, who will I be if I don't have any more emotion? Mm-hmm. Who will I be even if I don't react to whatever insanity is on this planet?
You'll be a blob of jello, no function, just wiggle, like an amoeba jello. That's what happens.
Yeah. Why would not you be that?
Yeah.
You know, it's about the jello or something else. Yeah. What if, did you ever allow yourself to be in that space of having no points of view and not being affected, not being under the effect of something? Have you ever been, well, I've lived it a few times in my life. I'm sure you lived it too in your life. And it's so freeing. It's so freeing to be in that space. And as I said, it's not about not caring about people. It's about caring for others and caring for us too.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that people choose chaos to create chaos in their life, that we have to choose that as well. So we always have the choice. We always have a choice. And what if it is required for you is to choose that space that will create more for you and that will create more for others? What if it's about choosing that space where You see your neighbor, you see someone in your family, you perceive someone in your family is not happy. Hey, you still choose for you whatever will create more for you. You still choose the lightness, you still choose the expansion. And this is a muscle to practice, as you know it, because we have always been there for others. And we will often allow others to be happy, and then we'll allow ourselves to be happy. We'll wait for others to be happy. Well, we can wait many lifetimes for this to happen. So yeah, what would it take for you to choose for you whatever will create more for you when you are surrounded with people who live chaos?
Mm-hmm.
And everything that doesn't allow that will you create and destroy at all times a godzillion.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock on the shorts, boys and beyonds. Yeah, I wonder, choosing what works for me in the space of chaos, like when other people are creating the trauma and drama. It's like it's not really, like you were saying, it's not necessarily acknowledged, or not acknowledged, but it's not the common path. It's just something that we may be looked at as being cold-hearted, or like not caring, or having just a very say strict sort of no emotion. And it's not detaching from something. It's really about being an allowance of what's going on, and coming from a space of more presence. Because I think if we can acknowledge what's going on and not get caught up in it, then it's like I can create something from a different space. Like you were saying, Edith, having the awareness to be able to not have a point of view about something. There's so much freedom, so much expansion, and so much space for something else. And that's the place in which we can create really amazing places. I created a traumatic event some years ago, and my dad was around, and it pretty much knocked me off my feet for a while. And I didn't realize that I was kind of stuck in this trauma that I had created for myself. And he said, well, you just got to get on with your life. And I didn't realize that I wasn't creating my life, or I wasn't moving forward. I was just sort of in this energy of the trauma that I had created for myself. And I didn't realize that I was really playing out this trauma, and that I was using this trauma in some weird way. Maybe some of the lifetime I had agreed to do this to make myself more unaware. But it was like, he just said that you just got to get on with your life. And he said it just with a kindness. It wasn't like, got to get on with your life. It's just like, hey, you just got to get on with your life. Then I realized, oh yeah, okay, so I really haven't been creating my life. So everywhere that you have created the trauma in your life, to allow yourself the illusion of space. Will you destroy and uncradle that times godzillion, please?
Right and wrong, good and bad, puck and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Do you have this impression that you live, that you are alive when you are in a trauma and drama?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whoa.
It's the illusion that there's some security or safety or something there, but it's not.
Yeah. So everything that is will you uncreate and destroy at all times a godzillion.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pocket, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
Yeah. And when I was talking about, it's not about being indifferent to allow, it's about, when you choose for you, when others choose dramatic situation in their life, it's more about allowing people to live their choice, and what their choice create. Their choices create. It's about that. It's totally a new way, a new perspective, a new way to live our life. It's totally different from this reality.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are so in reaction to chaos, what kind of chaos is in you? Hey, because if we are in reaction and we resist to chaos, what if it's because I believe that if we are in reaction to something or if we resist something, it's because we already have that kind of energy in us. Because otherwise we would not resist or react to something. Mm-hmm. So all the chaos that you, all this energy of chaos that you took in you, that you were aware of around you in all your lifetime, and you took all this energy of chaos in you, will you now return all that to sender with consciousness attached? Oh.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, and pot.
Right and wrong, getting that fucking bottle, 9 shorts, but and beyonds.
There's a healing going on, a healing happening now. I can feel it, a healing, healing. Yeah, baby. Bring it on.
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
So there's this, go ahead. Yeah, something.
No, that's fine.
There's this something about creating chaos, creating from the space of chaos that Gary talks so much about, Gary Douglas, founder of Access. That's this place of not knowing. It's this place of just following the energy. And I struggle with that a lot because I seem to have the idea that I want to have structure in my life. And following the energy is so foreign to me. Like I can be like spontaneous or whatever, you know, in a fun way. But when I think about, I guess, do I put importance on that? I wonder. But it's like creating from that space of not knowing is really where the magic is. And when I've done it, it's really been amazingly fulfilling. Yeah, so it's the tendency in this reality is to have a plan, to have a good, sought out, thoughtful, realistic plan of what it is that you desire to do, and follow the steps. And that may not work because of this reality is all about chaos. It's always changing, always moving and shifting around, and it's so much more adventurous and exciting to follow it through chaos and create your life through chaos and just ask questions what come up. And I have a tendency to go back to the structure, wanting structure with my life and wanting a type of security. And when I choose chaos, when I choose to create from chaos, it's so light, it's so easy, it's so much fun. And you know, we're just stupid creatures. I, for myself, I'm just completely stupid because I forget. I forget how easy it is to create from chaos, how easy it is to ask questions and to follow the energy and the lightness that's created and how quickly things happen. Yeah, it's just like I myself I'm very forgetful. So everywhere that we are using our lack of memory to create the chaos and unawareness that we are choosing, will you destroy and uncreate all that times a godzillion, please?
Right and wrong, getting that fucking pot all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. At the beginning, we were talking about chaos, in the midst of chaos. And now you're talking about creating from chaos. Can you give more explanation about that?
Yeah, it's like Gary talks about creating from chaos is the place that we want to create from. It's not the trauma and drama. Chaos is like this thing that's untamed. It's like there's unlimited possibilities. There's just unlimited. But with structure, it's like there's a path. Here's the way to go. But creating from chaos is the unpredictability of possibilities. It's the space of anything is possible and nothing is set in stone. There is no path before us. There is no path behind us. There is just a step into the air. And we trust that something will be under our foot when we actually put our weight on it. That's creating from chaos. It's creating from the space of really not knowing and following the energy. And that's the space that Gary says that we are not willing to be, that the space of creating from chaos, because it is so unfamiliar, real, and present, being present. and unlimited possibilities. And we tend to create from a space of safety and knowing where our next step is going to be and what's up ahead. Those are the places that we generally create from. This is a space of slow and stagnant. But creating from the space of chaos, it's not the chaos of trauma and drama. It's the chaos of unlimited possibilities, not knowing anything that's going to happen or not knowing anything that's showing up. It's just following the energy and asking questions. It's that trust of trusting awareness, trusting your own knowing. It's not to say that you go out just blindly and say, oh, I'm just going to do this today. It's asking questions and following your own knowing and following your own awareness. So yeah, that's the thing about chaos, that it's inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
So everywhere that we're not willing to function from chaos, from the space of unpredictability, will you destroy and uncreate all that times Godzillion, please?
Mm-hmm. Right and wrong, getting that fucking pot on 9 shorts, boys and beyond. Yeah, it's more about this chaos that you talk about. It's not the same thing as the beginning.
No, it's different, but it's still chaos. It's still like things that are happening. Chaos is, yeah, it's something, we create the chaos of the trauma and drama. That's, we create this trauma and drama, which is chaos. And there's also this chaos of the universe, how things happen. And you can't necessarily predict how it's gonna
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, and creating from that space is more about creating more possibilities, and from creating in the present moment by asking question of whatever will create more for us and whatever is light and whatever will create expansion into our life. It's not about, as you said, something that is planned and we do it because this is what we decided to do.
Yeah.
It's more about creating from a space of unknown.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, unknown in a way that it is, you don't know. You just ask question and you follow the likeness. It's unknown to the mental. That's right. What I want to say.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's unknown to the mental, and it's about trusting all that. Yeah.
So
yes. So
that could also be choosing for you. You know, choosing for you in the midst of chaos is also about what works for you in this pool of possibilities. And it can also be what works for you in this pool of trauma and drama and chaos of everyone else creating all this trauma and drama. What works for me? Do I want to be in this trauma and drama? So it's the same. It could be like either way. It's like it's the chaos is, it's not limited to one side of the coin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And one other thing about the caring, I want to finish with that. It's about, you don't have, a lot of people believe that if they want to contribute into people's life, they have to become the pain of others.
Oh, yeah.
They have to become the suffering of others in order for them to understand them, in order for them, to get them. What if it's not necessary? What if you just allow them to be in that space and being in total allowance of that and being totally present to this? And I remember Dane saying at the SOP, sometimes the only thing that will contribute is about being present to whatever suffering people lives. And what if by being present with no point of view is the best contribution we can be to someone? So, yeah, what if it's about that, being in that space that will allow others to shift, about the situation they're living.
Yep.
Yeah, it's about that. It's about, I just wanted to give that because there is that kind of subtle thing about caring for people and how to be in relationship when we care about people.
Also,
yes.
I want to add there, like when you said about caring for someone and being present, from the space of being present with someone who is going through something tragic or whatever, that presence is not judging that person as choosing a bad thing or a good thing or a bad thing. It's just being present for that person. And in that space of not judging that person, they have more possibility to choose something different. When someone is in judgment of me, for example, and they maybe have some point of view about the way I do something, then it makes it more difficult for me to choose something different. It's like there's this energy of resistance. So if you're caring with someone and you have no point of view and you're just there and present with them, then they have the space. You're creating space for them to choose something different, choose a different possibility. And that, I think, like you said, Edith, is one of the greatest gifts that we can be with each other, is just be that space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, and choosing for you, choice. What is a choice? A choice is a space that you create in our life, we create. Just think about a choice you made in your life, the space that it created. So what kind of space do you desire to create in your life? Is it time for you to choose to create new space? And everything that doesn't allow that, well, and create and destroy it all times a gazillion.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, online shorts, boys and beyonds. All right, I guess we're done for tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
It's already complete.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Please give us a honk of support by subscribing, commenting, and sharing the show with your friends. Or, if you didn't like the show, please share it with your enemies. Thanks for joining us tonight, and we'll see you again next week, same time.
Thanks everyone. Bye-bye.
Ciao.